Hello, friends from across the nation and around the world. I'm Martin, and you are listening to Dad's Bedtime Stories. Tonight, we're going to be jumping back into one of my new series, the Shapeshifter universe, a world where you've recently been given the power to shapeshift into anything you've touched, I guess, any animal or anything like that. And I finally got my first suggestion for it, so I thought we'd go with it. Let's check it out.
Hi, my name is August. I live in Calgary, Canada, and I'm 8 years old. I would like a story for the Shapeshifting series where there's green aliens and everything they touch turns into blobs of goo, and you stop them. Thank you. I love your podcast. 10 stars.
Thank you, August. Honestly, when I said people should write in and give me suggestions for the Shapeshifter universe, I thought it would be about turning into like different animals and stuff like that. But you came up with aliens who turn things to goo, which I think is pretty fun too. Before we get started, I just have some shoutouts to give to some of the listeners. As many of you know, I'm doing a March social share contest where if you share the podcast with other people who you think might like it on social media or whatever, you get entered in a draw for a possible guaranteed story idea and an interview from me. And I've had some more people join the contest. So thank you to Keisha J., for joining the contest, perhaps on the part of a child, or maybe you are the child. It's hard to know sometimes. Thank you to Christina J. for joining the contest. Thank you to Wilder for joining the contest. And thank you to Olivia N. and Mom Lisa for joining the contest. You guys have all shared the podcast, and I now consider you Dad's Bedtime Stories ambassadors. People willing to find someone who looks like they need a better night's sleep and suggest the podcast to them. If you want to check out that contest as well, in case you're interested in joining, we're taking submissions to the end of March. All of the details are in the show notes. But now, it's that time again. After a possible word from a possible sponsor, because podcasts need to be funded after all. Close your eyes. Get as comfy as you can in that bed and imagine yourself doing what the kid in the story does. Imagine yourself waking up in your very own bed in your very own home. Just the other day, you met a wizard that was disguised as a dog who gave you shape-shifting powers. It's been pretty fun to experiment with them since. First, you collected the form of a cat, then a bird, then a gorilla and a tiger. And since then, any animal you've come across, you've gently called over to yourself, placed your hand on it, and absorbed their DNA signature, allowing you to turn into them as well. Luckily for you, it also seems to have given you the ability to calm down animals and speak to them, making it a lot easier to acquire the powers. Today, you're hoping to gain even more animal forms. You head out of your room and pass the room with the TV in it. This just in. Strange alien ships have arrived over cities around the world. Strange green alien creatures have been appearing and reportedly turning people into goo? Is that right? They're actually turning people into goo? The reporter asked to somebody off screen. Yes, apparently that is correct. They are turning people and even things into goo. Stay tuned for more. The TV switches to images of tall green alien creatures touching cars and melting them into goo, or putting their hand on innocent people and turning them into goo as well. Even stranger than that, the goo seems to come to life After the things are melted, they sort of move around, join together, creating gigantic blobs. The blobs begin capturing more people and more things for the aliens to turn into goo. Oh no, you say. That can't be good. You hear a voice coming from the window. Well, are you planning on helping at all? The voice says. You look over to see a bird sitting in the window. The bird hops inside and slowly transforms into that same wizard wearing green robes. Now, I told you when you accepted the power that you would be drawn into adventure. I believe this may be one of those situations. These green goop aliens have bothered me before. But don't worry, there is a simple way to, defeat them by giving them a taste of their own medicine. What do you mean a taste of their own medicine? Oh, you'll figure it out. Toodaloo. The wizard transforms once again back into an eagle of sorts. It flaps its wings, flies out the window, and disappears into the distance. Wait a second. Is he saying it's up to me to stop these green alien guys? And giving them a taste of their own medicine is the way to do it? Okay. You head outside. You focus on the form of the bird that you absorbed the other day, and your body begins to feel sort of wobbly, less solid. Then you begin to change shape. Your arms stretch out into wings that then shrink down to the tiny wings of a bird. Your legs become little bird legs. Your head stretches out into a beak. And you begin to flap your little wings, soaring higher and higher into the sky until you're high enough up to glide. You realize that you're really going to need a better bird form than this. Certainly, it gets you from place to place, but it's not a very big bird or a very scary bird. You'll have to research something more scary, something larger and able to fly really long distances. But that's a problem for another time, you realize. You glide high above the world, looking down on the tiny people and tiny houses below, until you eventually come towards some of the chaos that the news was reporting. You see large alien ships floating in the air over the downtown center. Below, you see groups of aliens moving through the streets, turning everything into goo and then commanding the giant piles of goo to attack people and things. It's all really strange looking. You think for a second which of your forms could possibly take on these strange aliens. The strongest ones you can think of are the gorilla or the tiger. So, as you swoop down towards one of the aliens turning everything into goo, you allow yourself to transform. As you fall from the sky, your body reforms itself into a very powerful gorilla. You swing on a lamppost, perform a perfect backflip, and land straight in front of one of the aliens. You beat your chest using your arms and run straight for the alien, ready to attack. You jump in the air, attempting to tackle the creature, when a stream of goo hits you from the side, pins you up against a building. You can't get free, at least not in this form. You allow your body to become less solid again, and as you sort of melt into the bird form once again, you get loose from the goo and fly up into the air. Obviously, you're going to need another tactic. maybe something stronger, maybe the tiger. You swoop down towards the alien, allow yourself to transform into the tiger, and begin running with your powerful tiger legs. As soon as you land on the ground, you charge directly towards the alien again, when, once again, Goop shoots you from the side and slams you up against another building. Trapped once again, you transform back into the bird, slip out of the goop, and fly high up in the air. Obviously, you're going to have to think about this a little more. How exactly are you going to give them a taste of their own medicine? Especially if you can't touch the creatures. The thought pops into your mind that if you could put your hand on one of the creatures, maybe you could transform into them. Maybe you could get goo powers as well. But to do that, you'd have to sneak up on them. They'd have to not see you coming. How exactly could you achieve that goal, you wonder? Your bird form is pretty agile. Maybe you could just swoop down and land on them before they can hit you with a blast of goo, or maybe there's something smaller and less noticeable. You land on a nearby building, and you see a little spider web. Trapped in the web is a fly. Maybe, you wonder, walking up towards the fly, you lift up one of your legs and place it on the back of the thigh. You focus on absorbing the fly's DNA, and you allow your body to become wobbly once again. You start to shrink down smaller and smaller and smaller until you are a fly. Your vision suddenly looks super strange, as if you can see in every direction at once. Fly eyes are really cool. You buzz up into the air and dart straight down towards one of the aliens. You loop around behind him, and carefully and sneakily, you land on top of his head. You focus on absorbing the alien DNA. A strange sensation passes through your body as you acquire it, and you fly away into an alleyway. You land on the ground and once again allow yourself to transform, this time focused on the alien's DNA. Your arms and legs grow back, only they grow a lot longer than they were before. You feel stronger than your human form, more capable perhaps. And, strangely, you feel a sensation you've never felt before, as if you can sense something that's not inside your body, but outside your body. The goo. You walk over to a set of trash cans nearby, place your hands on them, and allow your alien instincts to take over. A strange surge of power shoots through your hands into the garbage cans, and they immediately melt into goo, along with all of the garbage inside them. Only this goo you seem to be able to manipulate. As you move your hands, the goo obeys. You move your hands left, and the goo rushes across the ground to the left. You stretch them up into the air, and the goo stretches up. Your thoughts alone seem to be able to mold it into any shape you can imagine. You practice this by turning it into a large goo dog for a second. Cool. You imagine the dog running forward, and the dog made of goo does exactly that. In order to take on these aliens and give them a taste of their own medicine, though, you're gonna need more goo. You quickly run down the alleyway, touching everything you can, garbage cans, recycling bins, old bikes that were left around, a trashy old car, and one by one you turn each of them into goo. You wave your hands, commanding the goo to move together into a larger blob of goo. Then you make your way out into the streets, where the other aliens are commanding even bigger blobs of goo. Now that you've had a taste for it, you can understand why they want to turn everything into goo. It's pretty fun to command this stuff. You see some nearby cars and turn them into goo with a simple touch. The lamp posts change to goo, the garbage cans in the street change to goo. Every inanimate object you can find is quickly transformed into goo, and to your delight, the other aliens don't seem to notice that you're not one of them. So, before you decide to take them on, you decide to collect more goo. The only thing slowing you down is the need to walk everywhere. Then you realize you don't have to walk. You have goo. You command the goo to sweep out under your feet, lift you up in the air, and move you down the street as if you're riding a wave of goo. Each car you pass by is transformed into goo. Every street lamp, every garbage can, every stand of any kind, until you have a mound of goo that rivals the mound of goo that the aliens have. Then you turn around, because now it's finally time to give them a taste of their own medicine. "Hey, aliens!" you yell as you roll up on your wave of goo, floating high in the air, using the green substance as a sort of extension of your body. Stop turning everything into goo. I totally understand why it's fun. This is actually really, really cool. But, this is my planet, and you can't turn it all into green gobbly-gook. In response, the aliens say nothing. They simply send their blobs of goo straight towards you. You sink down onto the ground, lift up your hands, and order your goo to form a shield around your body. The blobs of goo collide, creating a really strange, sticky sort of sound, and you begin to push against the other aliens. Unfortunately, they have too much goo. Their mounds of goo start to wrap around yours, and you feel like you're losing the battle. You back up down the street and turn more things into goo to add to your arsenal. A bike, a scooter, a bank machine. Hopefully that's not a crime. But no matter what you do, you just don't have enough goo. The goo starts to push towards you. Your goo is swallowed by the others, and the aliens fly up in the air on little streams of goo above you. A bird lands on your shoulder. "Well, may I ask why you're only commanding your own goo?" the voice says. What do you mean? I figured that was the way it works." "No, it doesn't work like that at all. You have the ability to command any goo. It's really more of a battle of the mind than a battle of the goo you've created. As long as you assert your influence over the goo stronger than the goo aliens, there'll be nothing they can do. And as someone with shape-shifting powers granted to you, well, I feel you'll have a bit of an affinity for it." "Really?" You turn back to the giant mounds of goo approaching you, and you reach out towards them. with your hands and with your mind. Something clicks in your brain as it links on to all of the goo around you. You feel other forces from the other aliens pushing against you, but you decide to simply not listen. This goo is yours, and they can't have it. In a burst of mental energy, all of the goo surrounding you suddenly decides to obey your command instead of theirs. You drop the streams of goo that are holding up the aliens, and they fall with a very satisfying plop into the goo below. You wrap them each up tightly in your own goo and command the goo to surround you once again. The goo moves underneath you, lifts you up in the air, and you begin to move down the streets, capturing the goo of the other aliens with a simple command of your mind. Street after street, you collect all of the goo from other aliens, bring it into your giant goo ball, and wrap the aliens up in a tendril of the stuff. By the time you've captured each and every one of them, you're floating high above the town center on a gigantic blob of goo as tall as a skyscraper. You use the tendrils of goo to shoot the aliens back into their ship, and you yell, "You want more of this? Come and get it." In response, the aliens shut the hatches on their ships and simply fly away. Now, the question of what exactly do you do with this giant mound of goo? Well, may I suggest returning it to its proper place? It's made up of a lot of things and, well, people that would probably prefer not to be goo. I can do that? You reply. Of course you can. Just as you command the goo now, you may command it to return to its rightful place, its rightful state. It's all in your mind. So you close your eyes. You sit cross-legged atop the goo, and you imagine it all moving back to where it came from. You imagine it forming back into cars and trash cans and lamps and people and pets. And slowly the goo begins to lower you down towards the ground as it moves and stretches back out over the streets through the alleyways. And slowly it begins forming itself back into the objects that were transformed in the first place. The cars, the lampposts, the garbage cans, the particularly shocked mailman who had no idea what had just happened to him. The streets transform from empty, lifeless places to a flurry of activity once again. And with a final thought, the last piece of goo solidifies, and you look out over the street. The cars are back where they're supposed to be. The garbage cans are too, the lamps, everything. The people, on the other hand, look rather disturbed. You find them staring at their hands and legs and then around at each other, silently asking if that actually just happened. And then they catch a glimpse of you. An alien. You realize. You allow yourself to transform once again, shrinking down into the shape of a bird, and you flap your wings and fly away as quickly as you can before anybody can ask any real questions. You fly higher and higher and higher until you're high enough to begin to glide. Then you simply spread your wings and glide through the world. riding on the wind as you pass over all of the houses, the trees, the lakes, the rivers, until you spot your own home, a familiar place. You swoop down towards it, land in front of the door, and transform back into your human form as you do. It feels good to be you again, having your own arms and legs and fingers and toes. You make your way inside and head directly for your bedroom. There's something about transforming and commanding giant blobs of goo that's left you very, very tired. You crawl into your bed, pull the covers up to your chin, and you close your eyes. With each breath, you let go of a little more tension from your muscles. You allow your legs and arms to sink down deeper into the mattress. With the next breath, you release your shoulders, then your neck, and last, your face, allowing it to soften into a nice half smile. And with each breath, you sink down deeper and deeper into the mattress, and your mind begins to wander off to thoughts of new dreams, new adventures, and new shapes to shift into to come. Good night, everyone.